Okay, so I did another release build and the crash that I was seeing did not go away. It still happens sometimes. Nope, it happened. And it doesn't even generate a crash dump, or it sometimes does, which is how I got the crash dump before. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. See, now it seems consistent, actually. Nope, it's not consistent. I don't know. Don't understand it. It's very interesting because actually it's part of the baking operation that crashes, it seems. It gets to 58% and then crashes. So it's not crashing straight away, it gets some of the way through this baking operation and then crashes. And it's not even giving me a crash dump anymore. I don't know why. But again, this only happens in a debug build. So actually maybe what I could do is do release with debug symbols and then run it in a debugger. Let's do this. Okay, this will take a while. But it's something to do with closed WinDBG, but it might be happening there might be a bug in here somewhere, but I have a feeling it's a higher level issue. It looked like it was crashing in here. Because one of the things I did refactor recently, because I had to refactor the bakery system again I don't think I'm going to explain all that, but I had to solve some very complicated issues for the addition of like third-party plugin, using third-party plugins as blocks and having them render offline. So this was all rewritten, and then there's another. Oh my god, Visual Studio is really struggling. This was added. So this is the main bakery loop. Process current bake. What I could do well, I was going to say I could go through all of the array accesses, like for example this, and replace it with the .at so that it throws an exception as dead, but I don't think that's the actual issue at all, because yeah, again the crash was happening in here. Okay, let me just see if I can get it to happen with a debugger attached. Ah, I can. Okay, that's very helpful. So yeah, it is crashing exactly where it was before. So I have limited debug information, or because it's an optimized build now, it's going to be more difficult to get information about exactly what happened. Right position. So this is basically trying to store 64 floats from here into here. So I'm assuming that there's at least 64 remaining slots in this output buffer. And so right position. Can I look at okay. Okay. Well, this is, again, I can't 100% trust what the debugger tells me here. I know from experience trying to debug release builds because it's an optimized build, but this looks very plausible as the problem here, in that there's only four slots in this buffer that we're writing to, and we're trying to write like 64 values. I don't really understand how this is possible. Frames to write. Oh, hold on. It's an underflow, is it? 82687 minus. Oh no. You idiot. Wait, hold on, what's going on? If this... This is the number of frames I have available to write to. 83264. Oh dear. Oh dear. So the problem is probably not here. The problem is that we didn't allocate enough space for the amount of audio data that we're generating during this baking operation. We didn't actually allocate enough frames for all of the frames that we want to write to. I will put an assert here though. So it doesn't just crash. We'll throw an exception if frame begin is greater than or equal to the frame count. So now we should at least get a exception thrown, and we do, which is much better because then it gets then it just prints stuff to this log instead of crashing. So now we can switch back to a debug build. Okay, I think this is like the last major bug that I needed to solve. So once I solve this, I think we're in a good position. So yeah, okay. So we just get a bunch of errors printed now because of the exceptions that we're throwing, and I'm hopefully handling these errors correctly, so everything will continue to work even though the baking is failing. Yeah, okay. So why is this greater than or equal to this? How do we get to this position? Oh, look at that. Whoa, wait. I don't trust this. Oh. You idiot. Sorry if you were screaming at your computer there. Yeah. That's what it should be, okay. Yeah. Okay, so now it doesn't necessarily error every time. In fact, it never does. Okay. Switch back to the release build. Okay, it still only happens in release. Frame begin 165376. Why would it only happen in release? I really don't know. I do not know. I would love if it happened in debug mode. Try and force an actual rebuild here. It would be really helpful if it happened in debug mode. I don't think there's any way to make it happen. Okay, I just need to think about the point where this baked data is created and how many frames we're allocating, and see if there's any error there. So it should happen here at some point. So creating frame count. Oh, this comes from these snapshots. Okay. Why would it not happen in debug mode? I don't understand why there would be a difference. No, I'm going to have to do the release build debugging, because otherwise I'm just guessing what the problem is. So 165.886. 165.374. Okay. I need to pick the same sample every time, otherwise I'm going to get confused. So let's always pick the first one. So 83199. No crash. Click. 82687. Crash. So it's baking, the first time it bakes, 83199. It's coming from here, 83199. Interesting. I assume this is the correct value. 83199 is probably how many frames we should be allocating. But the second time it does it, which is when I click, if for some reason it allocates less frames. So there's a problem in the snapshot, I think, which should be here or here. The snapshot renderer. Snapshot. Stage info, frame count. Okay, I think the issue is in here. Total frames for equals, okay, hold on. 83199. Click. 83199. Get info. Okay. I can't do that. Can't do that. Okay, let's have a look in here. Info frame count. Divided by frame scale. Can't inspect any of this. 44,100. I mean, this must be different. Okay, this must be different. So 83199. Click. Go again. It's just subtracting this from this to get the frame count. A3199. Okay. What? Now it's correct. A3199. Oh, it's not crashing anymore. It would be nicer if it was consistent. A3199. Click. Oops, I skipped over it. Okay, now it's different. So then it crashes or throws an exception. Try again. Again, okay. Is this consistent now? Can I just keep clicking? Info. Subtracting this from this. This is not giving me actually any information that I don't already know. A3199, okay. When I inspect it, it doesn't throw the exception. It changes its behavior when I observe its the quantum bug. A3199. Click. A3199, so it's not happening anymore. Okay. That's very odd. Again, I need to be able to... Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Didn't happen. Okay, I'm gonna have to just look at the code and see what... See if I can figure out what is wrong with it. What is wrong with this code? There's like nothing to it. Frame count. I mean, I could just print out some information, but it's not going to tell me anything I don't already know, I don't think. These are all doubles. Do you not print in release mode? This is... What? It doesn't print. It doesn't print in release mode. Okay. How do I print? Some Visual Studio specific thing, I think. I could use this instead. Which is probably not thread safe, but... What are you doing? Okay. Oh, that's yeah. This is not giving me any information that is helpful, actually. Let me just think. Because I already know what the... Oh yeah. I already know what's the problem is. This subtracted from this is giving the wrong value. But I wonder which one of them is changing. So this is helpful what I'm doing here, actually. Because what I need to do is try to hover over this lane without moving left or right. Then click. It's actually happened 4 times. So the beginning moved and the end moved. And then the end moved again. What? The thing about that is it shouldn't actually matter because this frame count is used first of all to decide on the size of the buffer and also how many frames to render. So why does any of this matter? The frame count, that same value should be used. So how many frames are we rendering? Render. It seems like we're just rendering too many frames. Render. We render and then actually I need to keep that debugging information. Where was it? Here. That's helpful. Chunk size in vectors. Signal, what do we do? Ah, we go into here. Hold on. Ah, right. It is this function that's wrong. Or is it? No, it should be fine. Ah, but then this doesn't... Ah, okay, hold on. Chunk size in vectors. Chunk size in vectors. It's going to do multiple... Okay. Right, hold on. Yes, okay. Okay. I think I see the issue. Chunk size in vectors 32. We're rendering multiple chunks or multiple vectors, We're not paying attention. We're not paying attention when frames written is thus. Frames written. We keep trying to render these vectors even after we've got okay. I think I understand. I think I understand. So there's two issues. First of all, this render. No. Oh, this right. This function should be resilient to this situation. This shouldn't be an assertion. It should be I got you. If this is like this, then just return 0 to say, yeah, we didn't write any frames. And that's actually fine. And then the other issue is at this level, we should actually check if frames written is less than the size of a vector. And if it is, we do this. We're done. I understand. Yeah, and I understand why the bug was introduced as well. Because this was part of a change that I had to make. I understand the mistake that I made in my thinking when I rewrote that code. Or it wasn't a rewrite, it was like a reshuffle. But anyway, that should solve the issue. And it should do the right thing. It should just write till the end of the buffer. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I think that is the last major issue. And that, for me, that was manifesting itself as a crash, but for... I have a guy, I have a contact who I send like pre-Patreon builds because he likes to do extra testing for me. And for him, that bug was not manifesting as a crash. I think it was not crashing, but it was like not baking correctly. So he was having different behavior on his computer. I think this makes sense. Okay, let's get let's remove that debugging stuff.